so excited. Welcome back. We are on this nice little pattern, I guess, of doing Mondays around noon Mountain Time. So I'm so excited to be here with you all again, and I'm really excited to be here today with Chris. I think you all are going to love getting to hear about what she does. So as you know, or maybe if this is your first time tuning into one of our lives, I am Jeanette McMahon, and I'm really passionate about helping people thrive. I truly believe that we are all designed and created to thrive. And so I love interviewing incredible practitioners and coaches and people that are just out there on a mission to help us all thrive as well. So today I'm so excited to be here with the lovely Chris coming in from Boston, right? You're right in Boston?
I am. I'm about 5 miles north of Boston, but yes.
Awesome. I love that. And we have connected through this women's networking group that we are both in. And it's so fun that we were able to connect across the country. So you guys are in for a real treat. So Chris, thank you again so much for being here. To those of you who are joining in live, feel free to comment below. Let us know that you're here. Say, hey, where you're coming from. And then if you are watching this recording, please feel free to comment. So I'd love to hear your thoughts and questions. So yeah, let's get going. So Chris, thank you again so much for being here. I'd love to hear if you could give us a little bit of an intro on who you are and what you do and all of that.
I am happy to do so. And thanks so much for having me here today, Jeanette. So my full name is Chris Vasiliadis. I have a business called Priority Wellness. I'm an author, a speaker, trainer, and health coach. And Priority Wellness is my own business. I've had it since 2008. And basically my overall mission is to help as many people as possible and empower them to be steady in their energy and focus, resilient in their health and performance, and sane in how they run the swirl of their personal and professional lives. So that's what I focus on in my business.
Awesome. All sounds so necessary. So needed these days. Yeah, awesome. So our theme here is kind of this thrive piece, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I would love to hear, well, maybe we could dive in a little bit more on what I know it sounds like you speak, and I know you just came out with a book, which I'm super excited about. So what is it? So, but you do a lot of is it one-on-one consulting and coaching? Is that what you do mostly, or?
I do a few different things.
Mm-hmm.
One-on-one consulting, I do coaching, I do over the phone. So my clients can live anywhere, even though I'm in the Boston area. Some of my clients have never even met face-to-face. So that work is all done over the phone. I also deliver workshops and speak on a variety of topics, and I do that in person, via webinars, what have you, generally on preventing burnout, improving your performance, mindfulness and focus, and stress management are my main topics that I focus on in those areas. And then I'll periodically do different side gigs in corporate settings. I've been an online health coach for, one of my past gigs was being an online health coach for a major insurance company for a number of years. I've been a dedicated health coach for a company's employees, and I'm currently doing a side gig for a healthcare company in the Boston area where I facilitate shared medical appointments. I do work with a couple of doctors who focused on weight management and another doctor who's focused on diabetes management. And it's the way you can think about it, it's basically a group doctor's appointment of about 8 to 12 patients who are focused on the same issue. So I work with people who either focused on weight or focused on managing their diabetes in that setting.
It's amazing. That's so incredible. Well, and with that subject of burnout and stress, I can just see how, it just applies to every area of our life, and it's
really prevalent now. Yeah.
I would be curious, I know, and I'm wondering if other people might wonder this too, but just what are you seeing, and just to kind of dive a little bit more into burnout, I guess I'm just curious, what are you seeing with burnout? What would you say? And I'm sure there's a lot of this in the book, so I don't want to, go too deep, but what would you say would kind of be what are you seeing the results are of burnout, I guess? Is that a fair question?
How does someone maybe know that they're in burnout? Is
I
guess or the impact of being burnt out?
The impact. What's the impact of burnout that you're seeing?
Yeah, so when folks are burnt out, they just feel like they're beyond depleted, and they're they might be irritable, they might be having trouble sleeping. They just don't feel like themselves, and they've been that way. It's okay if you're like that once in a while, but if you've been that way consistently for at least a couple of weeks, that might be an indication that you are approaching burnout in how you're running your life. And it's this feeling of, you feel like you're burning the candle at both ends, you're overtaxing, you're overstretching yourself, and you just feel like you cannot come up for air in the constant hamster wheel of chronic doing in all the parts of our lives. And so, yeah, and again, that's my specialty in my business, is helping professional women who feel that way and turn things around. And that's the subject of my book. May I show the book?
Yes. Oh, please do. Yes, Chris just wrote this.
Let me see if I can do this right.
Perfect.
So, yeah, my book is called Ignition, and the subtitle is A Professional Women's Guide to Energized Burnout-Proof Living. And that came out April 30th, and it's available on Amazon, and you can get it via my website as well.
Awesome, which we will link your website directly in the comments below. So for everyone to watch, you can just easily click on there. We can, there's a link for your book on there. So perfect. Yeah. Oh, that's amazing. I can imagine just with all of, not even just like pressures that I know like in the entrepreneurial world, there's so many pressures to hustle, which I think sometimes, I know there's a good piece of that, but I'm wondering, and I know I'm sorry, going off a little bit on a tangent here, but I feel like that is just so prevalent, and there's in almost what is encouraged in our culture of that hustle, of that constant doing, and keeping up on social media and like everything.
Yes.
I imagine that would just contribute even more to that.
Yeah, the fact that we have these things that allow us to be connected 24/7, it definitely contributes to it. The internet definitely contributes to it. Company culture can be a big part of it. And it's not, what I want to stress with people is it's okay to perform well and be engaged, but some people are performing to the extent that they're overstretching themselves and they're compromising their health. And that's what personally pulls at my heartstrings. I got into my health coaching practice indirectly. I was diagnosed with multiple sclerosis 3 years before I started my practice. And that caused a whole bunch of lifestyle changes for me personally, and was really A, my wake-up call to my own health and wellness, but B, where I really deliberately started managing my life in ways to avoid burnout. Because if I burn out as someone living with a chronic illness like multiple sclerosis, that can put me into another flare-up or exacerbation and diminish me in a whole bunch of ways. So I really took that seriously when I got that diagnosis. And that was kind of my first glimmer into exploring avoiding burnout for myself. And now, so many years later, it's translated into the main focus of my business.
Yeah, that's incredible. I love hearing people's kind of what led them into their business, kind of their why behind their business. Because I said this last week on our interview, I just think it's always a beautiful story. I love hearing that in the midst of something really hard, like what beautiful thing came out of that. And now you're helping thousands of women and people around the earth, which is so cool. That's awesome. Yeah, I love that. And I think that's so important what you're saying. Gosh, no matter what, it's impacting our health. And I'm wondering if some people don't even realize how it's impacting their health. And
they don't, especially women. I think we women think we're getting messages like you should be able to do it all. And we're wearing a bunch of different hats. We may be in some role in a business, whether we have our own business or we work for someone else. We might be a parent, we might be volunteering at something, we might be shepherding the kids to school or their different activities. Yeah. We might be putting the meals on the table and managing the household. So, and something's got to give. But I don't think women are getting enough role models and messages that you don't have to compromise your health in order to do all those things. And you don't have to do it all. You don't have to do it all at the same time. You can figure out ways to decide what's most important now. And also what gives you energy and what drains your energy. And being really just getting more awareness of that. So then you can deliberately design your life around your health versus designing your life around all your responsibilities.
Absolutely. Oh, that's so powerful. Everyone should talk to you. I hear in my counseling practice a lot, I hear women say all the time, this feeling of guilt around that of taking care of themselves. And it breaks my heart. Like, if we're not taking care of ourselves, we can't take care of anyone else around us.
Right. And maybe people need different words for that, whether it's self-maintenance, just like you maintain a car. Right. You have to take in your car every so many miles for a tune-up, and you have to put fuel in it. Otherwise, it's literally not going to run. And it's the same way. We're not robots. We're not machines. We need to get consistently fueled in some way, physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually. And it's okay to do that. And wouldn't you want that for your best friend? If your best friend was in the same situation, wouldn't you want that? So why do we have to have less than what we would wish for our best friend, or what we wish for a parent, what we would wish for our own children or people who matter to us? Why do we need to be last? And I think for a lot of people, it hasn't been modeled well in how to do that. And that's what I'm passionate about helping people do and figure out what works for them.
Yeah. Oh, that's amazing. That what works for them is so powerful. That piece, that personal piece. Right.
And what works for them now, because what worked for you, many of the clients that I work with are in their 40s to 60s. So what worked for you when you were in your 20s or 30s might not work for you now when you're in your 50s. So it's really figuring out what is really most important to you now. How do you need to be fueled to do that and bring your best to the table without killing yourself in the process?
Right. It's so valuable. And I love how you said that piece of like that individualized piece, that what fuels your energy versus what, drains it. Cause exactly what you're saying. Like some people hate running. So don't go run. Like don't go.
Or some people don't want to go to the gym. Well, don't go to the gym. There's multiple different ways that you can get movement in, whatever it is. And I think a lot of women are sacrificing just plain joy. They've forgotten what makes them happy, and they've forgotten how to have fun and find ways to just lighten up and let loose. And that's a really important piece too of their overall health and well-being.
Absolutely. Oh, and I can just see how that would just be so beneficial for someone to work individually with you. So you could really unpack all of that, and they can really create and craft that plan for themselves. That's awesome.
Yeah, it's not one size fits all. It's really helping people figure out. When I work with people, they're in the driver's seat. It's not me wagging my finger and saying, you have to do this.
Right.
It's that, they're the expert on them and what they're willing to take on. And I'm the expert in helping you make some sort of lifestyle changes, whatever shape or that might look like, and how to navigate that process and how to do it in a way that you can initially implement them and then do it in a way for it to be sustainable too.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's amazing. So I love to ask everyone, your theme here is thriving. So what does thriving mean to you?
I've kind of danced around it a little bit in our discussion already, but it's really being engaged in a way that doesn't compromise your health, and being able to be fully resourceful and bringing your best self to the table. So using all the resources at your disposal, really realizing you don't have to do it all on your own. There are other human beings, there are spiritual resources, there are service providers. There are ways that you can achieve that level of thriving with others, kind of having a team available to you.
Yeah, not alone.
There's no reason to do it alone.
Yeah, that's why I love doing these interviews, because it's just, there's so many people out there that want to help people be their best selves, like let's get the word out.
Absolutely.
Awesome. And my other question, that I like to ask everyone, which I think you've done a great job of already explaining this, but how what you do helps people thrive. I think that we kind of know, but is there anything else you would say to that specifically?
Yeah, I think basically it's through my one-on-one coaching, it's through my webinars and seminars, and it's through my book. I basically wrote my book because I know I can't personally coach or train every single person out there who could use this help. So it's another way to extend my reach and a really quick, easy way to get started for folks that are looking for help.
Cool. I love that. You did just come out with this amazing book, which I'm really excited about. I need that, actually reminded me, I need to get that on put that in my Amazon cart. But I'd love to hear, I know it sounds like there is, well, maybe you could tell us like how you kind of help people determine if they are experiencing burnout themselves. And it sounds like you have something for us today that we can kind of get a little taste into that.
Yeah. So at the beginning of the book, I walk people through there's a very brief assessment that you can like check off different things and decide, okay, am I experiencing these symptoms lately? And I mentioned a couple of them earlier, the irritability, feeling depleted, what have you. And I'll just share the definition that I included in my book. This was a definition by a psychiatrist by the name of Dr. Philippe Weston, who defines burnout as a syndrome of depleted emotional, physical, and cognitive energies, cynical attitudes, and feelings of personal ineffectiveness and incompetence. So if you're feeling that way, might be an idea to pick up a book, or just even look at my website and see if what I say resonates for you. And if so, would be happy to chat further to see if there are ways that I can be a resource for you.
Awesome. Thank you so much. I'm sure that there are so many, I mean, I'm sure we all do at some point experience that. So yeah, gosh, thank you. So the best way to find you, for people to reach out to you, I will link your website in the comments below. Is that the best way for people to find you?
Yeah, my website is prioritywellness.com. And I also have a business Facebook page. And if in Facebook, you just do the @ and it's Chris V as in Victor, Priority Wellness, and that'll get you to my Facebook business page.
Very good. Awesome. Well, I will link all that in the comments. Thank you, Chris, so much for being here with us today. Is there anything else that you want to share before we pop off here?
I think we covered quite a bit today. So I think we're good. And yeah, if folks are feeling like they're in burnout, you don't have to exist that way. There is another way that you can operate and function.
Yes. I love that. There seems to be this theme. I mean, it's the theme of kind of what I do, is that core belief that we're all, designed and created to thrive. And people say that in different ways, in different, language. But that seems to keep popping up of like, hey, like, this concept of like, just survive. If you're feeling like maybe it's just on the surviving, like there is more available. We get to experience more. And so I'm so grateful for the work that you do and helping people truly thrive. So thank you so much. Be sure and touch base with Chris and check out her book. And she is just wonderful. And I'm so grateful to have been here with you today. So thank you so much.
Thanks for the forum, Jeanette. I'm really appreciative. Thanks so much for having me.
Thank you. Have a great day. Bye.